Does this feel like a game that your depth is going to be tested a little more?
Yeah, we get a lot of guys, if you look at, Dunner's up, Osty's up, Rosie's up, Myers out. That's four guys in our top six out. So, but I mean, it's been this way to start the season, and we don't talk about it as a group. The guys know you just got to go out there and play, and guys have done a really good job. Guys stepping up, playing really good hockey. You look at the last this kind of run we've been on. The guys have bought in. We're checking really well. We're defending well in our own zone. We're not giving up odd man rushes. We're managing the game. Probably the offense is, we probably don't have the puck as much as we usually do in the O-zone, just with those guys out. But we're playing good hockey, and that's all you could ask for is your group. And it's going to be no different tonight. That's a really good team we're playing tonight. Really good team.
You're developing winning hockey players here so that they can succeed here and the next level. I mean, how awesome has this year been? Austin just adds to it.
Yeah, no, it's great. Those guys, Rosie especially, last couple games, he's attacking the game, he's skating, he's poised with the puck, he's competing really hard. Osti, it was good to see him get his first goal. Donner's done a great job, and that's all you could ask for. And it's not just me, it's Vinny and Paisher and everybody on board to try to get the guys ready to, in a situation like this, as a coach or any one of our members of our coaching staff, you want to have those guys go up and have an impact on the game and be responsible and play the game the right way, regardless of points. And I think those guys, they've been finding ways to get points, which is really important in the NHL, and I think those guys have had a huge impact on that.
You talked about maybe not having the puck as much as you're used to. Are there guys in tonight's lineup that can be drivers for offense to have that change?
There's levels of, like, you're talking about, like Osti, Rosie. These are point of game guys in the league. No one's replacing those guys. No one's replacing. Carson Meyer played in the NHL. Like, has scored a lot of goals in this league. You're not going to replace those guys. It's going to look different. We're usually a pretty good rush team right now, and this is taking away nothing from our group. It's just not their identity of the. If I'm going to go out there and ask them to make a bunch of plays and throw cross ice passes and hold passes in the middle, we got no chance. That's not how you could play these games. And that's nothing away from the guys we got. We just have to play like we've played in this 6-game segment to be competitive in hockey games, and that's what we want, and the guys have bought into that. If you look at the games, last 6 games, we're 5-on-5, giving up less than 2 expected goals for. If you do that, you have a chance. If you want to play in a track meet and you want to trade chances, you need horses to do that. And I don't believe in that. I think you got to play the game the right way, and the guys are playing the right way. And we got a bunch of guys stepping up, like Fiedler, Schultz, Jags, and Kuntard. Like, you look at their numbers, like Feeds has 1.9 games. It's been our best line. I match them against everyone. They play against everyone. They have the puck the whole game in their own zone just because they work. They're on top of people. They're physical. They've been really good. That's been a huge line for us through this stretch. Like, they get really tough matchups. Like, you go to Laval, you don't have the matchup on the road. They're playing against Dolphin. They're playing against Jack Guy's line. They're playing against Beck's line. Like, those guys have been outstanding. Jake Lecision, Neutsch have been really good. And then, we got one line, like, especially, Helly's dynamic with the puck. He drives a lot of offense for us. So it's just a different way right now, and you got to find ways. You got to coach the group that you have. Like, you can't. So as a coach, you look at where the group's at. What are the strengths of this group that we have here now, and it's ever changing in the American Hockey League, and you have to adapt as a group. And we got a lot better from when we started our first game to where we're at now.
I think going into the season, we talked about the depth across the board, specifically down the middle. How helpful has Lecision been?
Yeah, he takes a lot of face-offs. He eats a lot of minutes. He's been really good. And we don't. talk about it probably enough, but our D-core's been outstanding. Like those guys, it's the strength of the group that we have right now. Novi's playing his best hockey. You know, getting Metza back is big, and then Rathbone and RJ eat a lot of minutes against a really good line, and they defend really well. We can really skate as a group. When we're playing well, we break out the puck extremely well, and those guys have been awesome. It's really important through this stretch that we've had is the foundation we have on the back end, and then guys like Bellevaux and Lousy came in. We played Laval at home. RJ's out, Metza's out. Those guys step in and played great. I think we gave up 18 shots in the game. Like those guys have been, those pieces are really important. As the season goes on, the games get harder. It's more high stakes, but you gotta get off to a really good start. And it's collectively as a group. Like I'm really proud of the guys. Met with leadership yesterday. Like, you know, there's two ways you can go. You got a lot of guys up you could feel bad about. You're excited, but at the same time, you know, and the guys have been awesome. And it's going to be a huge challenge tonight for our group.
You talk about missing all the firepower, of course, offensively, and you're up against a team that's pretty powerful.
Yeah.
So do you concentrate more than usual on defense in this one?
Yeah, it's a really good question, Donnie. They've always been a really good defending team. Like if you look at their metrics, it's probably them and Laval are the two best teams in our league as far as defending and what they give up. But now their dynamic is a little different now, where they defend really well, but now they have some, you know, the Geekies, the Peltiers, like these Stoiaks, along with some of their young players that they have. I know Geeky's young, but they have a combination of both. I think we got to really focus on the strengths that we have of our team. Is I think we can really skate and we can pressure teams. So I think the more focus is on that going into tonight's game of how we need to play as far as away from the puck, and I mean the pressuring on the forechecks, pressuring in the neutral zone. So in that they've been a really good, like they're leading the league in almost every offensive category, like line rushes, and you wouldn't think Syracuse is a line rush team, but they defend so well. They create turnovers in the neutral zone and get odd man rushes. Also, off their breakouts, they're a really good breakout team, where I think last game they had four odd man rushes just from exiting the zone execution. So I think it's looking at their strengths and their weaknesses in play to our strengths and what we have to do tonight. But I think when you have the puck, when you pressure teams and you get the puck back, that's your best form of defense, and making them chase the game instead of you chasing them around all night.
Of course, you keep the puck in their end of the rink.
Yes, it's the best form. Now there's ways too. But everybody looks at ozone as like, you got to get in the ozone, but there's certain areas, like to get in the ozone, you got to break out the puck well. Then you got to get through their neutral zone well, especially a team that checks so well like they do. I think they give up less than 2 odd man rushes a game. Like, and most of the time it's a mistake where a D falls down. Like they're an extremely structured, organized, well-coached team. So you got to get through the neutral zone. Then you got to through breakouts, then you got to get through the neutral zone, and then you got to make sure you got puck support, you know, to get to the puck first, because they're a really good breakout team. So a lot goes into the details that you have to play with in the game. Of like, if you're going to dump pucks in with no forecheck pressure, they're gonna zip it and they're gonna go, and you're not going to get that ozone time. So the ozone time is really important, but it's kind of like the steps before that. Like, we got to break out the puck well, we got to manage it through the neutral zone, and then we got to make sure we got numbers on the puck when we get to the offensive zone. Good. We're gonna have to play well. Yeah, it's a really. I'm really excited to watch our group play. Every game is important in pro hockey, but there's some games like tonight that carry a little bit more weight. And you know, we've had last season, really intense games, played them in the playoffs, and then to start the season, we're 1-1 against a really good hockey team. So I think as those I don't want to overhype the game, but it's a measuring stick game with our group. Like, it really is to see where we're at, because that's a really good team. Like, and I'm not just saying that. Their offensive numbers, defensive numbers are outstanding. So you really have to play the game the right way. And they don't give up line rushes. So if you don't manage the puck well, they're coming right down your throat the other way. A lot of the offense they create is from being really good away from the puck. And then they do some things in the O zone. They're really good below the goal line. They got some older players that they did a really nice job in the offseason that know how to play pro hockey. They hang on to pucks, and they're really good in the O zone too. They got bigger bodies. They don't force plays. Everything is back behind the net. So it'll be a good challenge for our group, and I'm excited to watch us play tonight.